Good evening. This is Ken Long from Tortoise Capital with the daily digest from the trading room for April 20th, 2016. We're going to start off with the early trade from Ashe with Apple. And what we have here is market gap down, sold off, morning hook. He got a hybrid frog entry here. He buys here with a stop around the low of the dragon's belly. Takes his measured exit at 1R by design. He had framed this trade from the low of the day. From the low of the day plus the range stat. This was the maximum reasonable intraday move to this level. He saw the hesitation in here, a lower high, and cashed the 1R. Perfectly planned, perfectly executed, well done. I like this entry here that waits for clearing of the Z3 lines from the previous day's close and the overnight session. That's good practice. So 1R in the first bite. This is another one from Ashe. This is a short position in XME metals and mining. This is a good hedge against the long side swing trade that we have, XME being dominating. And this is a breakout at Z3, the Z2 breakout, with a stop above the Z2 line. Gets a nice breakdown through the VWAP. This is also that owl pattern. You have the 30 rolling over, the 10 has crossed the dragon. You've had a significant move, and all signs point to down, so he gets his initial entry, a collapse. He's got a couple R in hand by this point. He adds it on momentum, so he's got two scoops. Comes down, he's holding about a little over 5R when it crosses this line. There's a moment of hesitation here, and he cashes 5.6R. If he'd been able to hold longer, this is not a bad place to be cashing down in here. You got plenty of time to make that decision. You have the RL10 has bottomed out and starting to hook up. This is not a bad way to capture that, but I have absolutely no quarrel with cashing 5.6R, especially with two scoops in hand. That's one where that profit can disappear if you're not aware or being aggressive. And remember, the price is going to come back towards the VWAP potentially, and so you could end up giving back a lot of that capital if you don't have a plan for preserving it. Here's one from Charles. We'll see this trade again in a little bit, so I really just am going to look at the afternoon, a short trade in the pocket. This one was after this significant move, couldn't make a new high twice, rolled over short, has a nice tight stop, minus 0.27R. Well done. Now we have a real tight pinch on those Z3s. You get a breakout here again. Dragon is rolling over, 10 is rolling over, the 30 is rolling over. This is a really nice Z3 price breakout, and that's also a pocket trade, and he cashes one here at the VWAP for 0.47. So I don't have a quarrel with that. It was according to his plan. We do get a greater extension on the way down, but I would rather see trading according to the plan. This one is in WYNN, W-Y-N-N. The first trade, there had been earlier trades in this sequence, by the way, an exit here and a re-entry and an exit up here. But this entry, one is a pocket entry after a significant move, and it failed to fail. The 10 crosses back over the dragon once more, gets a measured exit and cashes a taste. And now we have an owl on the short side because we had the unambiguous move, have the RLCO outside of the river. We have the RL10 has crossed the dragon. The 30 is now rolling down. The dragon is sloping down. Here's that pocket trade. Beautiful entry at 3, absolutely perfect. And then cashing at 5 near the end of the day for 1.15R, perfectly executed owl pattern. This is one from Sunal. and this is on the Dow Jones Industrials. You can't get a better entry than that pocket trade and that owl trade right in here. You've got the unambiguous move, the RLCO, 10 crosses the river, the dragon is sloping up, the 30 has flattened out, starting to curl up. Beautiful entry in here. Taking the profit on the outsized gain. It has come back to the RL270, back to a resistance level. I have no heartburn with that exit. That's a good exit for the next 10 or 15 bars, so well done. Good time value of money. She resumes the trade with a pocket entry. This was a little bit of slippage, but still, very nice trade that runs all the way in that Z2 channel between Z2 and Z1, protected by the dragon, keeping everything out of the river. You have a peak out here outside of Z2, a collapse, a 1, 2, 3 exit. Absolutely well done. This could be a pocket. I don't have any heartburn with this one, and a very nice controlled capital preservation stop here on the RLXD, the RL10 coming through the dragon. Very well done. Here's one of mine from this morning on EWZ. We have essentially a low, a higher low, so this is a P4. You can think of that as being in the pocket. Notice we're in the little elbow. I like that I'm buying on the south side of the VWAP, volume weighted average price. I feel like this thing has potential to go up. It had most of the morning to 90 minutes to collapse, and it didn't. And EWZ is one of the strongest sectors right now, so I like that as a low risk opportunity. Because of that, I'm willing to absorb this tension. I want you to notice in the blue circle, this is where the RL270, which comes down from yesterday's close, and here's the gap. So now it is playing catch up. It's down here. The VWAP follows price. When they come together, this is long-term estimate of fair value, so I'm not surprised when I find support here. I had committed to the Z-2 as the trailing stop. At this point, it had gained enough and was starting to go sideways and even threatening that I jumped up now to the Z-1 trade. I'm using that as my trailing stop. On the second hump that failed, it was outside the Z2, rolled over, 1, 2, 3 exit. That's where I strike and cash. Now we've got an owl entry in the usual way, and we will see how this trade unwinds later, but that's already over an R in hand because the stop is up here. I've locked this price in above the dragon, and now we're just going to see what it show. We'll take whatever it gives us. Going back to the Apple trade from Charles, we have a nice unambiguous move down. We have an owl entry, or this actually a hybrid frog move off the bottom, excuse me. So entry here. Now, his exit was here on the RLXD. We use this as an opportunity to discuss this not earlier than exit at the yellow dot, where we've got a nice move in hand. Where this is a 0.86, so this is about 1 R. This might be 1.2 R at maximum favorable excursion. And so if that's good enough, especially in the hybrid frog, I have no quarrel with an exit here as price in RL10 entered the dragon as opposed to exiting the dragon. Bruce Lee would approve, so therefore I approve. So we get this nice exit. It finds support. Here's the pocket entry, perfectly executed. Now you have the 30 is up, the 10 is up, the dragon is curled up. We're north of the Bollinger Band mean. The river is up, and now everything is on the right, on the correct side of the dragon. Beautiful entry at number 4. Perfect exit here inside the middle of the body of the dragon now for another 0.72. That's how you do 1.58R in the morning with just careful attention to detail and good preparation. Well done. Here is one in XME. He's got the pocket trade, exit to cash 0.6. So there was some weakness in here. 0.6 pocket reentry and a careful profit preservation. No troubles with that one. Good work by Ashe. This is an XIV pocket trade. Now, 2 is at the VWAP and the Bollinger Band mean. I don't have any heartburn with that. If in a perfect world, 1 would be a perfect entry, but 2 is still pretty good. I like the exit. This is just taking what the market will give you. It's finding hesitation at the last place it held hesitation, which it felt hesitation right at the hump of the dragon. So when it starts hesitating in here and you've got 0.67 in hand, snatch it up, get paid, ring the bell. Here's a series in win. This is a short position in the direction of the trend. A spike exit, so there's a fractional here, and protects against this kind of spiky move. Win can be spiky in the morning, so I like the risk mitigation. This is a resumption of the downward trend. That failure does not materialize. It reverses. He gets the stop, and it with a carefully controlled minus 0.46 or an immediate re-entry. Well done. Now you have an owl entry, and you get a nice exit at 8 for 0.53. So you're net positive for those efforts. In each case, is postured for a major gain if you get the any kind of significant follow through. But meanwhile, playing good defense and coming out of that tactics with a net positive. Here's more on EWZ. This was that owl exit on the short side that we just saw. It behaved very well. You can see everything is out of the river. It crashes through the VWAP and the RL270 for the second leg down, cashing that one on the RL10 rolling up and entering the dragon. We have an owl entry here and a exit in the usual place at the RLXD. It finds support at the rising VWAP, so entry, managing the trade using the 270 and the Z1. Second entry when it clears the hump of the dragon. That's the not later than second scoop. Comes back at the RLXD, price in the middle, and the RL10 in the middle of the dragon. Cash that. That's a really nice sequence on a well-behaved symbol. EWZ Brazil does this a lot. We have these nice long trending intraday moves with very large volatility, no trouble borrowing shares, so we like that one. Here's XME, the first one, trying the pocket trade and the owl and the pocket. Not much follow through, was slow getting out of it, a fractional gain. Re-entry in the pocket, nice. Could have added a second one, but I looked at all this resistance in here. I wanted to see it clear. It gets up near just above the previous swing high. We get some weakness and then cash in the usual way. This would be a natural place to be re-entering. It was a span of control issue, had other positions on, and I didn't have the willpower to take on an additional position. Here's one in win, and this is a owl, an effort at an owl short. He makes a note that this was the proper owl entry on the second one. Now you got to wait for the 30 to roll over, so that's why this is premature. Has a nice wide stop. I don't mind. I can live with that as long as the important thing is that the trader self-corrected. So he gets this exit down here at the VWAP on some hesitation and collects 1.09 R. So lots of good work being done in the chat room today. A lot of good crosstalk, a lot of refinement of technique as we're developing some of these advanced systems. So these are the kinds of things that we will see how to do in the advanced day and the advanced swing. The nice thing about these techniques with the RLCO framework and the Bollinger Band River framework and these frog boxes and the owl patterns is that they are fractal in nature and that the techniques are interpreted. I almost said interpreted. I'm glad I didn't. That these frameworks and movements are interpreted with the same sense-making framework, and so what you learn how to do on day trading also applies to swing trading, but at a different pace, and vice versa. So there's almost a universal perspective on this one, or a standard frame of reference that allows us to take action at whatever time frame. So this is Ken Long at Tortoise Capital. We hope to see you out at in Raleigh at the Van Tharp Institute sometime this summer for maybe the advanced swing course or the systems thinking course, or at our live trading and research weekend workshops in Kansas City in June, where we'll go over more of these ideas and learn to improve our craft. This is Ken Long from Tortoise Capital. Keep your risk measured and your powder dry.